I decided to apply and then match with NPTC, some of the reasons that really drew me to it were the focus on the rural community, the underserved community. I very much wanted to help people who didn't always have access to that help.
Research has shown those areas do have a higher risk for mental health. And I do believe by providing that care to them, then we're able to give them the services that they need to address any mental health issues that have gone unnoticed.
There's a gap between the level of need and level of care that's actually received. So NPTC provides an opportunity for those who might not otherwise receive services to get them, and this can be a very effective and helpful ways of helping the community.
I was placed in Logansport, Indiana, and I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. Being placed in a site like that, there's a value in terms of learning more about yourself and growing as a clinician. You'll be able to experience different things that maybe you wouldn't at a typical site.
The thing that I gained the most and that was most valuable with working with rural and underserved populations was really how to become creative with my work. You have people who are driving 2-3 hours for a doctor's appointment that you can't just say, okay, I'll see you next week. It's a lot of inconvenience. So you have to be creative in your interventions. You have to be creative of how to work with people who don't necessarily have a lot of the time or the resources that you might be used to.
Growing up in a rural community, I knew that resources were small. I knew that everybody knows everybody, and it makes it hard to seek out services if you don't want people to know your business.
Coming from Puerto Rico, I had the experience to work in rural placements over there. However, it's nothing similar to what is rural Missouri. Providing services to people that are part of this community in Missouri, it was an honor. At the same time, it's really necessary.
What I've learned about rural and underserved people is that they're incredibly resilient.
Working in a rural and underserved community is definitely more fast-paced than I expected. I think because the need is there, even though it's a smaller community.
So it did give me that opportunity to work with other cultures from other countries that moved to this area and how they are acclimating to the majority culture here.
So the focus of NPTC on rural and underserved populations really just capitalized my interest in that population, as well as provided me with a direction for how to go and how to practice in that area.
Everything that they taught me about the barriers that a patient may experience getting services, those are things that I now experience on a daily basis and that we're trying to cut down on.
I was just talking to my fellow that was saying this recently. She's like, I had no idea where Yakima was. I had no idea what it was about. I researched it and I felt connected, so I came, and she's like, I want to stay. This is where I want to be. And that's one of the things that you see throughout every single region of NPTC, is that oftentimes the locations are in places like, I've never heard of this place, or what is this? And at the end of the year, all the trainees are like, you know what, this is starting to feel a little bit like home.
You don't know you're going to like something until you actually try it. So if you have this opportunity that comes your way, you might actually like rural settings.